Welcome in, everybody. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Hope y'all are ready for some fun Glover action, because I sure am. I was trying to just find this game out in the wild. I was having a little bit of trouble doing it, but I did finally track it down, because I didn't just want to order it off of eBay or something. I wanted to add it to my collection from finding it out in the wild. And, thankfully there was a game store that had it, so now we get to experience this classic game again together. I always thought it was funny how he screams even though he just got turned to stone. So it's like, how are you screaming, sir? You're stone. Ah, man, such a classic game. I know it's one that doesn't get a ton of love, but it makes me sad, because this was a fun game. I know control-wise it can be a pain, but once you get, like, used to the control scheme, it's really quite the fun experience. And I highly recommend it. That's like the one and only Mr. Tip that we're going to talk to. Mainly because it makes us. I will say, overall the game was fun. It did give me a couple of spots that gave me a little bit of trouble here and there. I did kind of semi-break the game like twice, unintentionally. First time was actually here because I was brushing up in the tutorial stage, and you'll see in a second what happened, because I did need that brush up. Had to get that familiarization again. I'm gonna take my glasses off because they are dirty and I don't feel like going and grabbing an alcohol wipe, but I wiped them off my shirt and now they're all fuzzy. And so we're just gonna have to look through the look at this game through fuzzy eyes. I will say, in rebuilding my game collection, it is nice playing games on original hardware again, and not just playing digital versions of them or something. It is enjoyable. Like right here, that's one of the biggest things to get just acquainted with this game is the control scheme. When you go into water, how it kind of changes. It just randomly will reverse the controls on you. But once you kind of acclimate to it, it's a really fun game. I know the soundtrack can be a little repetitive, but I always found it to be a lot of fun. How you could just kind of stop in the middle of the air and throw the ball around. Being able to change the ball. But right here is the first unintentional breakage I had with the game. I'm not sure why, but it just decided that it wasn't going to end the level for me. So I tried a couple different things, wandering around. I went down and came back up. It just did not want to let me complete the level, so eventually I did just give up on it. But yeah, unfortunately, the game said, nope, you can't leave this level. But I tried changing it around. I was like, well, let me try just changing it to different stuff. Maybe the game just glitched a little bit. Maybe it didn't register a trigger or something. But you gotta love the old games. But no biggie. So we just went on to the first world. I did, for the initial playthrough, just kind of play through the levels, just kind of enjoying reliving the levels. I did start going back through after I beat the game and getting the high score on each level. I've also gone through and started getting the bonus levels. I can tell you at the time I'm recording this, I have the first level unlocked, but man, I just cannot seem to get the control scheme down on the bonus level. I don't know, as a kid I guess I was just a more hardcore gamer, but as an adult I got kind of frustrated with it after like 8 attempts or something and gave up for now. But eventually I will make the level of me beating all the bonus levels. I'm just kind of in the process of going through and rebeating all the levels, collecting all the items, getting the high score and all that. And then there will be a follow-up video when I eventually get it done. But I was just kind of going through enjoying the level again. Unfortunately, this first level doesn't have too many fun secrets or anything you can do. But as I was playing the game, I was just kind of enjoying going through and having all that sweet fun again. It's such a shame we didn't get a second Glover. I know there was a prototype they had made. Spoiler alert. I couldn't remember that the last 3 collectibles were in that cracked column over there. Later on, when I started going through and collecting all the collectibles in the level, I did take a look at a old guide just to figure out where they were, because I could not remember for the life of me where they were in this world. So I did cheat a little bit and look at a guide. I think for me personally, the thing I loved and found super charming about this game was just the fact that you almost had 2 characters. You had the ball that kind of was required for checkpoints and stuff like that. And then you had your main character. And that was just kind of cool. I don't know if I'm ever going to make it, so I will go ahead and mention it here, but I wanted to make a short for this where it was a stop motion Glover and he was picking the game out of the case and then putting it into the N64 and turning it on. And I probably will eventually make it, I just haven't gone out and bought the glove and the wire and the clay or whatever to hold its shape and figured out the logistics of how to do it. But someday I do want to make that because I think that'd be a pretty cool little video to make. I do like doing the live commentary, but I will say being able to play the game and enjoy the game and then come back over it and rewatch my gameplay and kind of just talk over it is also kind of really relaxing. I don't know if there's a particular preference to which one is better. I've tried it both ways and it doesn't really seem to make a big difference on watch time or anything. but I would love to hear everyone's preference on it. Even just not talking on whatever format does the best, I have no particular issues with it. Because I've tried with the controller scheme and all kinds of, the control inputs and all that stuff, the HD, not HD, the 4K. I've tried all those and just kind of experimenting. And I can't really see a big difference one way or the other. So I'm just going to kind of keep experimenting this year, but I will say for the ease of recording and everything, I do like being able to just play the game, edit everything out, and then talk over it. For me personally, that just makes life so much easier than just trying to kind of do it all in one go and hope that the audio lines up and everything matches up. I know I'm missing a lot of the enemies right now. I am aware that there's collectibles in them. Like I said, for this first playthrough, I was just kind of reliving the game because it's been, probably 24 years maybe? Let me grab the case. Let's see, so Glover came out in... Yeah, it probably would have been around 2000 that I played this, yeah. Yeah, probably was. Crazy to think about it being that long. Also, I know I could have just drained the water and made that easier for myself, but well, let's be honest. That would be too easy. Why do stuff the easy way when you can do it the hard way? I love his attitude. Like, it's just his little noises he makes and stuff. I think that's one of the reasons why I did like this game so much. Which is kind of the personality they put into the character and just kind of his uniqueness. I do plan on focusing more on N64 games and stuff this year. I would like to do more just overall, but in rebuilding my collection, I have realized just how expensive some of these old vintage games have gotten. And some of these games I want to replay again. They're $80 or more. And yeah, right now it's just kind of gonna get them as I go. But yeah, it's not like back in the day when you used to be able to find like really cool game lots, and you used to just be able to buy tons of games for really cheap. I know I could have just moved this over, but where's the fun in that? We like to do stuff a complicated way sometimes. It always bothered me as a kid that that doorway over there doesn't lead to anything. I also was debating with this one whether or not to do the PlayStation version or the N64 version. I really kind of do want to play the PlayStation version because I don't really remember ever playing that version. I know it's easier. I think like the control scheme and stuff just makes it simpler. but I do know I've always heard over the years that it is easier. And I think I have played parts of it, but I don't think I've ever played it beginning to end. So maybe someday we'll do that. Do a little comparison. I tell you, with getting back into retro gaming, that's probably the most expensive part, is finding the old consoles and stuff. I would like to do more NES games, but my NES isn't working. I think I'm going to get one of the Retrons and try that out. That and a lot of capture cards don't want to have composite component cable slots, S-video slots and stuff anymore. Any kind of coaxial lines, any kind of that old tech, they just kind of want HDMI. So for some of these old consoles too, you gotta go out and you gotta buy the old adapters and things. But it is, I don't know, it's just something about being able to play it on the original hardware. It's just kind of the charm of the original graphics, the original everything. It is nice. I did think about doing more of a, kind of like what I did with GoldenEye, where just condensing the whole game down into one video. But I decided with this one it would be more fun to just do a world by world, because the videos didn't seem like they were going to be too long doing it that way. Because as fun as it is to edit down a whole game into one video, if I could do it in more digestible, smaller videos, I'm perfectly fine with that. Just call me Speedy Gonzalez. Not sure about everybody else if you've ever played this game, but I'd say probably the ball and the rubber ball and this ball are probably the two that I've always enjoyed the most. The bowling ball is kind of cool, but there's just not a lot of applications where I feel like it's necessary. I mean, it would be fun just to go through the game and see if you can beat it with just the crystal ball. I mean, not crystal ball, but just the crystal itself. I didn't count all of the game overs. I will say I did get probably maybe like 4 or 5 during this playthrough. There were a few times you'll see later on where I didn't show the entirety of it, but I did just kind of farm lives on the first level. Because thankfully this game was kind of like Super Mario World, where you just kind of go in, get the life, and then come back. I also just immediately gave up on that checkpoint. I was just like, you know what? It's not even worth it. We don't need it. I'm not sure if this editing style is boring to watch. I just thought with Glover it might be fun to kind of more see me beating the level. So instead of just kind of showing you every level, I just kind of, I mean, not every level, every attempt, just kind of showed you the attempt where I was actually beating it. I do wish there was a little more variety in the collectibles. It did seem kind of odd that you had games like Banjo-Kazooie, you had games like Spyro, Donkey Kong, stuff like that, where you had different collectibles. But in this one, they were just like, you know what? Nah, just go with the one. Just go with the one. That's all you need. Then how they made some of the enemies kind of unkillable. This fish always never really made sense as a kid. I was kind of always confused by why you're just kind of floating away in a hot air balloon. But we are already up to the first boss. In terms of gameplay, the game could have, I mean, I guess it really didn't need to, but I guess it could have kind of given you a little more of a nudge in the direction, because kind of you just have to figure it out on your own. It doesn't really tell you. Well, actually that's not true. I didn't reread the Mr. Tips. So there is a possibility maybe they do give you some hints, but you know, for the most part, I always felt like this game was kind of just a go out and figure it out on your own kind of situation. Perfect. Nice and easy. Really, the bosses in this game aren't too difficult, other than maybe like 2 of them. It was always cool how the overworld kind of slowly repaired itself as you got more of the gems, though. That was always a cool touch. It was a charming little game. And that's the first level, so I hope to see you on the next video.